Hi, my name's Holly. I'm with Suave Knits, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am conquering a huge task. I am reorganizing my entire yarn stash. This video is unfortunately at this point an extreme necessity. So I am in the middle of filming a video for this top. It is a very fluffy, very stretchy top and requires the use of a thin piece of elastic at the top, which I know I have, okay? It is in my stash. But for the life of me, I've already checked like multiple bins and multiple bags, and I cannot find that little piece of elastic. And sure, I could go out and I could buy myself some more elastic. It's like $2. But first of all, I don't want to leave my apartment today. And second of all, I need to clean. As much as I want to just go out and just solve the problem and go buy the elastic, no, I'm going to be an adult today. I'm going to clean my apartment. I'm going to find the elastic, and then I will finish that video. But in the meantime, I thought this would be a fun little impromptu video to show you guys what a hoarder I am. And then also show off that yes, I am going to get rid of a bunch of the yarn that I'm not using. So yeah, buckle up. I'm going to show you all of my yarn, and it's embarrassing, okay? I have a lot, but I promise you, for the most part, all of the yarn I've bought has always been for a project I just never finish. Again, strap in and let's jump right in. I started out by unloading all of the yarn from under my bed, which is the better part of half of a king-size bed, area-wise. There were about 5 bins and multiple bags, which I didn't get through all of the bags, but I did get through all of the bins. Here's a close-up of everything that I found. I also had a few projects that were just kind of out and about, and then some stuff on my bookshelf. Okay everyone, so I literally haven't even unpacked the first box yet, and I think I just found the elastic. Oh my god. It's her! Oh my gosh! Right there. Should I just quit now? I really feel like I should just quit because this is getting really overwhelming and I found the elastic. Okay, so I'm not gonna quit, but that's really exciting that I found it. And if I get burnt out halfway through, I can quit. So at least I have the elastic. Bin number 1 is full of yarn that I bought over 5 years ago. The last time I used any of this was over 2 years ago, so I decided I'm just gonna get rid of the entire bin. Bin number 2 is full of yarn that I've always looked at and knew that I never would touch again. So the majority of this bin I just ended up getting rid of. A lot of this yarn I got on sale, or I got it back when I was an undergrad. There were a few projects mixed in that I really never finished, and I ended up having to unwind them and rewind them, so whoever purchases the yarn from the donation center that I'm donating my yarn to won't have to deal with that themselves. So a lot of this video ends up turning into me just untangling yarn, sorting through it, making sure that whoever purchases it has a good experience with the yarn, because it's still good yarn, it's just not good yarn for me. Here I'm starting to unwind a hat that I had started making for my husband many years ago when we first started dating. I never finished it because he doesn't actually really wear hats, and I had finished a pair of socks for him that he also didn't wear because his body temperature runs very hot, so it was not worth finishing the hat for him. But again, it's Knit Picks Brava worsted yarn, so it's good yarn. I didn't really like the colors, and I don't really work with that kind of yarn anymore, so I just kind of decided to roll it back up and take it to the donation center. Next up is my graveyard of old projects. So this is my We Come in Peace pillowcase that I worked on. I really like the design, and I did all of the font myself, but I think the alien head was too big and I didn't allow enough space on the edges for the pillow for it to actually work. So I never finished it, and I kind of need to start from the beginning with the design. I will be keeping the project though. Next up, I have some old designs from my kitty cat hat that I was working on. I ended up changing all of the face sizes for my pattern, so the hats kind of never worked out, but they are something that I plan on holding on to just for inspiration if I ever decide to come back to that pattern. Next up is some designer yarn that I really didn't like the look of, but it kind of looks natural like a pet face, so I'm going to keep it for that. Finally, I have a herringbone scarf that I made 4 years ago that I've been kind of reusing the yarn from, so I'm going to keep that too. I had a few more balls to add to my pile, which ended up topping off my second bag for donations. Bin number 3 is full of yarn that I generally like. I think I only donated about 2 balls of yarn from this bin, so I kind of just sorted all of the yarn by either the project it was being used for, or if it didn't have a project yet, and I'm going to sort it later based on that. This is my Augustine's number 17 project, which has a lot of yarn that goes along with it because I ordered way too much yarn for it. So I'm going to keep all of the balls that go with this project together, even though I know I'm not going to use that much. So someday when I finish, I'll have it all in one place. Next is my Bobby Bomber, which I'm using We Are Knitters Mary Wool for, which they gifted me, which was really kind of them. So I'm going to keep all of that yarn with this project too. And of course we found the elastic, which I am so glad we found so quickly. This is a scrap yarn sweater I've been working on for years. Someday I'll finish it, so I'm just going to keep it in this bag. Bin number 4 is kind of a miscellaneous bin full of yarn that I got more recently. Notably, I ended up keeping the Lion Brand Cotton number 5, the Lion Brand Hometown yarn, and the Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick. I did get rid of all of the Knit Picks Tough Puff yarn because I just wasn't feeling the color. This is my Skein Tones bin that I use for pet faces. I plan on keeping this the same and just adding all of my furry yarn to this bin also. This is a bag of miscellaneous yarn that I haven't used in a while. I think I ended up keeping about 2 balls of yarn from this and the rest will be donated. Bin number 5 already was full of Woolies Thick and Quick and Hue and Me yarn, and I decided to just go ahead and fill it with just Woolies Thick and Quick and make it a dedicated bin for the future. I also threw in that project that I have sitting out, the 2-color brioche scarf, which I'm going to undo in the future, but I didn't feel like doing it right now. Okay, I am checking in at the 2-hour mark and I am exhausted. This has been so much. I knew it was going to be bad, but like it is exhausting. I have just finished cleaning out the cabinet, which basically entailed me just throwing all of the yarn in there on the floor. But I really like to have that cabinet be kind of like the things that I'm working on now. I don't want to get any more bins, so I'm kind of limiting myself to however many. I think I have like 5 bins. So I basically got rid of like 2 whole bins, but now I feel like it's gonna be really easy to like fill that back up. I'm tired, but I'm gonna keep trucking. Hopefully things will start taking shape very soon. So this bin I'm filling up with some whips that I have laying around. This is a cardigan that I designed with some hearts and it's with really thick yarn. I just haven't gotten around to finishing it. I really lost steam on it and now it's getting warm out, so I just don't have a ton of motivation to finish it. So I decided to throw it into this bin and kind of organize this bin with my projects on least likely, most likely to finish soon. So this kind of heart cardigan is going on the bottom. I started to put my Bobby Bomber in the bin, but then I decided to put the Augustine's number 17 with the Bobby Bomber on top because I think that's the order most likely I am to complete the projects. Next up, I decided to put all of my Knit Picks Wool of the Andes from my bookshelf in a bin for itself. I bought all of this yarn to kind of work on my new pattern, the possum pullover, with a cardigan version. But I've kind of lost steam on that too because I kind of started on the cardigan and then I didn't like how it was going, so I decided to just kind of take a break from it, remove it from the bookshelf, and focus on the pattern a little more. This is what the cardigan version's looking like so far, but I just realized that I wasn't really vibing with how I did the edge and just a lot of the numbers were off, so I know that I need to redo it in the future. So I just wanted to kind of take a break because it is really hard to just kind of scrap all of that progress. This is some yarn I got on sale because the company was closing, so I bought a ton of it, and I decided to fill this bin with my quote-unquote fancy yarn, so a lot of hanks, a lot of mohair, stuff that I don't really have a project planned for yet, but I know I'm going to. I also filled a bag with Lion Brand Hometown yarn and kept it in this bin too. Next up is this basket, which has a lot of You and Me yarn and this cotton yarn from the Pioneer Woman. I was working on a top with this Pioneer Woman yarn, like kind of a summery top, and I do plan on finishing that at some point, but I kind of lost steam on it as well. For the You and Me yarn, I'm planning on doing a project with it, so I'm kind of separating out the yarn with the little bits kind of in this bag, and then I'm going to display all of the You and Me yarn on this top rack for the colors that I'm planning for this project. The other yarn, I'm still kind of deciding where I want to put it. Hey everyone, checking in at the 4-hour mark, and I feel like I've made some good progress. Everything is sorted. So everything is like in the bins, in the bags to be donated, or there's a few little stragglers. But other than that, I feel like right now I'm just picking the projects or the yarn that I want to be like displayed or kept in my cabinet for like easy access. So right now I have the fisherman's wool from Lion Brand as like my top rack on the bookshelf. I plan on using that for the coast to coast wrap, which I'm currently in a little knit along group for. That's the reason that yarn's kind of being kept out, but there's still this like awkward empty space where all of that yarn is. So I'm trying to figure out, like, do I want to do like half the fisherman's wool and then like half something else? I am really close to being done. I think I'm gonna start putting the bins back under my bed after I figure out like what I'm putting out, like what am I displaying, and then the rest will go under the bed. I wanted to have this all done so I could like film how my apartment's looking afterwards and have it still be like looking nice and like good lighting, but that might have to take place tomorrow morning. Goals for the next 2 hours would be get all of the yarn under the bed, get the bookshelf and the cabinet organized, and let's get back to it. I decided to put the second rack on that bookshelf full of Woolly's worsted weight in kind of more neutral colors to kind of match the fisherman's wool. The final bin I ended up using to store a couple of extra projects along with some of the extra Woolly's worsted that didn't make the cut for the bookshelf, along with the You and Me yarn and yarn bits that I didn't need for the project that I was planning, so all of the other You and Me was in the cabinet. I also added all of my supplies to the top shelf of the bookshelf. Finally, it was time to put all of the bins back under my bed. I know it doesn't look super clean. You can kind of see all of my medical school books at the bottom of my bookshelf, and that's something on my to-do list to finish at a later time, but overall, I was really happy that I ended up getting rid of a ton of yarn to donate and kind of reorganize my system of yarn. The last thing for the day was to fill up this basket, which I added my very plush big yarn from Premier Yarns to. I kind of plan on finishing this project that I was working on hopefully soon, so it will help to have that kind of sitting out where I can see it. Alrighty, so I am at about the 5-hour mark and I think I'm done. I cannot believe it's finally over. It's been such a long day. I have 4 bags, like 4 big bags of yarn that I'm giving away. Everything just feels so much more organized. Like all of the yarn I'm just excited about. And I feel like before I had all of these bins where I was like, I haven't touched that in years and I'm not excited about it. I'm still deciding what project I want to have on my big bookshelf. Like I like to keep just a couple of balls of yarn there for like decoration. I don't have anything there. My cabinet's still a little sparse, but overall I think it was a good day. I feel really good about everything I cleaned. We found the elastic, people. Hold up, we found it. This furry thing, this elastic coming soon, okay? Stay tuned for that. But there was one casualty of the day which made me so sad. I stepped on my Knit Picks interchangeable needles, which I literally just got like a month or two ago, and I'm so sad about it because as soon as I stepped on it and I heard it go, I was like, oh no. But anyway, overall, I think it was a good day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you just watching me clean all day. So you made this a lot more fun than it would have been without shooting a YouTube video. So if you like videos like this, if you want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe, comment if you want more cleaning videos. I surely need them. And thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!